Hello gang, good to have you all back again. Of course, if you're tuning in for the first time, I am the Articulate Grunt. Welcome to my channel. So an Ohio high school senior, motivated student that he is, already qualified and working as an EMT, apparently spent almost 2 weeks in jail after school authorities, without his permission, searched his vehicle, finding the 3-inch folding knife, commonly carried in EMT equipment for cutting seat belts and similar such things, had him arrested and expelled from school. He's actually having to enroll in a specialized online course to be able to finish his high school degree, and now having a court date, has to pray for a positive outcome from the judge so that his other dreams of being a policeman sometime in the future and of after high school joining the Army to serve his nation can be fulfilled. But with a highly negative decision from the judge, he could be looking at further jail time and loss of both those dreams to his possible future. Gotta love some of the zero-tolerance schools are going with now. This kid was an EMT working off school time, and in his car in the school parking lot, they went through his EMT equipment. How many other things out of that equipment, if they really wanted to, could they have gigged him on? What if they hadn't found the knife? Something like this? I believe they'd have found something else. Now, as you probably heard all over the news, Putin and Russia are talking about annexing Crimea back to the Soviet Union. After all, it was once part of it. It had been part of it over 230 years ago, and they've signed a number of documents giving them the rights and such to annex it, especially now that it's independent. However, Turkish politicians and legal professionals have pointed out that under the same documents Putin was trying to cite, signed by Catherine the Great of Russia 230-something years ago, Crimea, having elected to declare its independence, now belongs to the Ottoman Empire, or back to Turkey, who are the descendants, inheritors of the Ottoman legacy. So, there's a whole new twist and some fun to that. Switching over, though, from the possibility of a second Cold War and where the hell will all this go in the world's future, let's go to some gaming news. It's a little bit old, because all the sign-up to get in on it have already gone by, but EVE Online, MMO you've heard of, probably have heard of, all the ads and everything they run, is based out of Reykjavik, Iceland, and they are actually erecting a physical monument to the game and all of its players. There'll be a special portion of the monument actually dedicated to players who have fallen, those who have died and thus had to leave the game because they've left the real physical world. But the entire base of the monument itself will be covered with the engraved names of all the EVE Online players around the world. Just a bit of interesting geekdom news for you there. Moving back to the U.S., though, the California Supreme Court found that a Bay Area school did not violate the First Amendment rights of 5 students who were sent home for wearing the American flag to school. That's right, 5 Bay Area students in California were sent home for wearing the American flag on their t-shirts and refusing to take it off, Cinco de Mayo last year. Now, the school justified this decision by saying that they feared violence action would be taken against the 5 students by fellow students displaying ethnic pride in their Mexican heritage. I just gotta ask, what kind of fucked up situation is California getting into where instead of dealing with students who are showing pride in a foreign country to the level they will assault students wearing our national flag, they punish the students wearing the flag? If these other students are such hooligans and little gangbangers that they're going to go after American students wearing the American flag, kick them out, or better yet, call INS. Now, moving on to one of the main title pieces of the video, Michelle Obama, both her daughters and her mother, will be leaving today on a trip to China where they will be promoting educational advancement in both their country and ours. This as here in the States, they've just lowered the SAT requirements for college once again. Personally looking at everything, the fact they're going to be going to the Great Wall and a number of other historical sites all over China, but avoiding critical human rights issues and similar things that many around the world have criticized China for. Really, looking over the itinerary, looking over everything they're going to be doing, it's just another glorified vacation at taxpayer expenses. Mrs. Obama has decided she wants to go to China. She can do some bullshit promotion of education while lowering our standards here at home, and take her mother and 2 daughters on a wondrous trip all over China, seeing all the wondrous historical sites. And the media pumps this up as some great thing. Really, personally, it's a bunch of bullshit by a woman who, with the election of her husband, you know, the guy who stood on stage and while the national anthem was playing, crossed his hands in front of himself rather than put his hand over his heart, could finally feel proud in America. Let's not forget, this is the lady that with these daughters sat through a church but didn't hear anything for years and years as the Reverend preached on about all the evils of guys that look like me. Personally, I'm really not that surprised. Look into it yourself, make your own decision. And finally, something that never happens. Something we were told didn't happen, it was all faked. Trans fakers. That's right. Christopher Hambook, aged 37, in Toronto, Canada, a biological man claiming to be transgender and taking advantage of Canada's new gender identity law, gained himself admittance to 2 different Toronto, Canada battered women's shelters, where in at least 2 cases I could find, he used his access to assault women within the shelters. One woman woke up having had her pants pulled down and her blouse up to find him assaulting her, and when she screamed at him, he apparently covered his face with his hands, said, "Oops," and started to giggle. The other one, a deaf woman he assaulted, he apparently grabbed her hand and forced it upon her crotch to feel his erection. As of currently, he is jailed indefinitely, pending final trial, as the grand jury judge has listed him as a dangerous offender not to be released upon the public. Pro-family leaders have pointed out that this is exactly the kind of thing they warned would happen. Gay and transgender leaders are mysteriously silent. Well, I've brought you more than enough to think about, more than enough news to you. Take care of yourselves, and remember, no matter how hard your life has been, no matter what kind of crap you've been through, you're the one that makes the decisions in your life now. Get up, find something, and get involved. If you have to, rebuild yourself. Build yourself anew. But get out and get involved. Find something worth your time, worth your investment, and get into it. Make new friends in it. Rebuild and improve your community. And remember, if you don't, if you just sit there and somebody else does it or messes it up worse, you got nobody to blame but yourself. So, take care of yourselves, leave me your comments, thoughts, and hate mails down below. Hit the like or dislike, and subscribe if you haven't already. Seriously, subscribe. I am the Articulate Grunt. I will catch up with you later. Bye.